In this video, we're going to take a look at taking our selfie stick exploded view and then putting it into a drawing to document an assembly for. So what we have here, leaving off from one of our previous videos, we're going to end up from this particular case. I can go ahead and go up here to the file and say new drawing from animation. And here it's going to choose which storyboard that I had. So this is the first storyboard that I had, and I can choose which kind of title block I want to put it on. I'll put it on a B-size title block just to make sure I got enough room, and I can go ahead and say OK. It's going to load the drawing environment, and it's going to be able to give me my particular drawing that I have. So here I can adjust the scale. Right now it's at a 1:4, 1/4 ratio. Let's see what 1/2 looks like. 1/2 may be a little bit too large. We can always do a custom one as well, maybe do 1/3. So let's see here where we're at. I can say OK, and I can always adjust the scale as I need it. So, all right, so here's our exploded view that we have. Some things that we may want to include within a assembly drawing or an exploded view drawing would be, if you want to place a view, here you can say from model, and right now it says from, there's a front view. Maybe we want to go through and choose an isometric view for that. So you'll see there is an option for like the southwest isometric, southeast. Let's take a look and see which one gives us. I believe it's the northeast isometric. Yep, that will go through and provide the correct orientation. So I'm going to go ahead and place and say OK. And maybe we go ahead and change the scale to a 1:4 and go ahead and shade our ISO. So again, we want maybe our assembled view to look together and then show what the parts look like all exploded. So as I take a look here, some things that we need for an exploded view, we may want to go ahead and add balloons. So balloons allow us to, so as I zoom in, I can just click on a part, and then I'm going to place the balloon. I can click, and then that'll place the balloons. So just left click and I just continue on and place the various balloons. The numbers will automatically generate based on the parts that we have. And it looks like I need to adjust one there. And if you need to adjust a balloon, you can by the gray grips. There we go. So there is actually two sets of grips for like this one here. I maybe want to adjust this to come out to the outside, so you really don't want any arrows to cover up any parts. So you'll see all the arrows are pointing to the very outside edge, and you can always adjust those. So if you got an arrow that's like pointing on top of something or covering up a part, you can always adjust those with that as well. So here's your exploded view with balloons. And then the other thing we might want to add under tables, we want to add a table, and it says to select the drawing view. Now from here it'll give us a couple different options. So either we can select the view right here from the graphics, or we can choose it right from here. So here's our animation. It's going to automatically generate this. So when we go down to the bottom, here's the parts list as it shows, and then what it's doing here is it's giving us some different things. So if I double click on here, we can get rid of a few items, like here description. We can go through and have that. Part name would be also is kind of the same as part number, but here and then you can use some of these arrows, table direction up or down. So there would be down, parts list, and then there's all the different items. Sometimes you'll see it, in a lot of engineering drawings, they will reverse the direction that way. So I'm going to go ahead and change to down. And then, some different things like, if you just want to have a parts list, a very concise one, you can do so. If you want to move the material, or just to show you, if you want to have that move up above the part number, it's typically not how it's shown, but this is what this does, is it allows you to reorder the parts list. And usually the order follows kind of industry standard. So, but, sometimes there can be some modifications that happen. But I can go ahead and hit close. This will go through and generate an exploded view for our particular drawing. And that really is kind of how to create an exploded view for our selfie stick, as well as any other parts that you may want to go through and create drawings for.